Alright, what's going on everybody? My name is Patrick and I'm going to be making this video specifically for my friends, but if you come across this video and you have no idea how to use PokeGen or how to get Pokemon to your DS with PokeGen, I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is obviously download and use PokeGen. I do not have the newest version. It does not matter one bit. And we're going to be making a Pokemon. I'm going to be making a Legendary specifically because those are the hardest to make. So let's make a Latias. Okay. Now we got a Pokemon. Now we can nickname it. I'm just going to name it Dragon for simplistic, very simplistic state. And then if you want to keep the nickname, you press this button right here. Experience is self-explanatory. 100. That's how much experience it takes. The nature, again, self-explanatory, the nature. Howard item, anything you want. Really, it doesn't matter what you want to use. I don't know if every item in there is legal, though, like HMs on something. So I wouldn't advise using that. Try using competitive stuff like, I'm just going to put specs on it. Ability, make sure you look these up, because if we're going to get these past Pokebank, you want to make sure that you have the right ability. And I know that Latias is Levitate, so that's what we're going to do. And then, country doesn't matter. Pick whatever you want. I just leave that as the default. And the origin, this is where you want to choose what game you are going to be using. Since I'm going to be using White 2, I'm going to click White 2 right at the bottom. And then right here, you can pick the gender. Latias can only be a female. That's why I can't click on anything else. The egg is that you receive your Pokemon in the GTS as an egg. I would not advise this. I mean, you can if you want. I don't really see the point of it. And you could obviously make it shiny with just a click of a button. Met. Now, here's the most important part of this whole entire video that I'm going to be making. The game's though set at Black 2 and White 2. I'm guessing because I clicked on White 2. I actually haven't looked into that too much. Location. There is a very, very easy way that you don't have to look so far into this when you're choosing your Pokemon. PokeTransfer. If you use PokeTransfer, the game will think that you got it through a trade, so it wouldn't really matter where the origin came from, and it will go through PokeTransfer on the 3DS, and it will also go into Pokebank Ball. Not every ball works. I know that Charis Ball does not work. I would advise you using balls that you know that work for sure, like Pokeball or Master Ball. I'm going to pick a Pokeball. Level, whatever you want. This is the level that the game's going to think that you found it at, but since you're getting it through a trade, it's nothing important. Encounter, I always put Cave, Hall of Origin, Giratina. I don't think it matters too much. And then if you're doing a Legendary, and I think this only applies to Legendaries, you want to click Fateful Encounter. Now we're going to be going to stats. Since we're going to be making a competitive team, you're going to want 31 IVs in everything, because they are the max you can go to, and there's really no reason why you shouldn't have max IVs. Then you're going to want to choose any number of EVs that you want. The maximum that you can have for legit competitive is, I think it's 5 or 8. Yeah, it's 5 or 8. Since I'm going to be running an Assault Vest in X and Y, I'm going to make 252 Special Defense, 252 HP, and 4 Special Attack. Since I do have 5 EVs, the game will think that it's legit. The attacks. Choose whatever you want, just make sure that the Pokemon can get it. I'm going to give a very simple move list for Latias. So let's put Psychic, Energy Ball, and what last one should I put? I'll just put Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt. What? That's odd. Why doesn't it? Oh, there we go. Okay, now you're going to want to max up on the PP ups, because in competitive battle, having as much as you can is very important. And that's it for the attacks. Now for the ID. Go into your game, since I'm using White 2, and get your ID card. Mine is 11486. And then the original trainer is what your trainer name is in the game. Since I'm using my brother's game, I'm going to put Brandon instead of my regular name. And that is pretty much it for the most part when it comes to using PokeGen. It's really not too bad. And this will go through the GTS. You're going to save the Pokemon from the tabs. I'm going to name mine Latias. I made another Latias before this video, so I know that it's going to work. And we're going to name it Latias 3. Then we are going to go open your browser. And here's a website where you can send Pokemon to the GTS. Very simple to use. Shout out to Panda Jam Party. I think that's what his YouTube is. I will leave a link to him in the description below. And what you want to do here is, if you don't know what you're doing, you can click on this thread. In fact, I'll just do it right now. Alright, I apologize for having to make a cut out there. My internet went kablooey and I had to go reset my router. Anyway, from what I was saying, I'm going to click on this thread to show you how to do it on your 3DS. It's very, 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 very easy. You're going to want to go, basically, you can just read this if you want. I'll read it all for you. In the System Settings app on your 3DS, you want to click on your internet settings, and then you want to tap on the connection settings, and then pick the connection that you use to access the internet from your 3DS. You then want to go to change the settings, then tap on the DNS. For the auto-obtain DNS option, tap no. Then tap detailed setup, and set the primary DNS of that connection to what you see right here. And make sure you set both. I don't know if it's mandatory to set both, but that's what I do. And you should be good for that. This is really easy if you follow this step by step. And I will leave a link in the description for this website too. Basically, what we'll want to do right here is we are going to select the Pokemon file that we made it on. We're going to click Upload. And then it's going to send this to the 3DS. So if you followed what I just said a couple minutes ago, and you went into the DNS, changed all that, blah, 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 put in the game that you're going to be using the GTS for. For instance, since I'm using White 2, I'm going to go on White 2. You're going to want to go to the Global Trade Center, which is in any Pokemon Center on the top right. Talk to that lady. Click Global Trade, GTS. You're going to go in there. You're going to fall down in a circle-like pattern. You're going to walk up to a computer, and you will get your Pokemon in a trade. Some notes to mention, make sure you have a full party of Pokemon. That is very important. Make sure you have a full party. And that's really it. That's all there is to PokeGen. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. It's really not confusing at all. And for my friends, please start doing this because I want to play competitive battling with you all because it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a nice night.